Hi everybody, I'm Kira. I'm the yoga coordinator at the JCC. Welcome to Slow Flow Yoga. For today's yoga practice, we are going to be using a strap. So make sure that you grab a strap, which could also be a belt or a tie, and then we'll get started. So to start this morning, come to a comfortable seat and then begin to gently float the eyes closed, and we'll begin with just a centering brief meditation and breathing practice to really come into our bodies. So root down through your sitting bones, making a nice solid connection with whatever it is that you might happen to be sitting on. And feel your pelvis start to get really, really heavy. Feeling the stability that your pelvis provides the rest of your body. Starting to breathe into the deep low belly, maybe bringing a hand to the deep low belly and letting the hand rise and fall with the belly. And every inhale, every exhale, and then begin to stack the spine, one vertebrae on top of another. And imagine like you're breathing air bubbles of space between each vertebrae on every inhale, and then keeping that length as you exhale. And watch your breath rise up your spinal column like a balloon ascending towards the sky. Let the crown of the head just rest softly on top of the spinal column. And then reach the crown of your head gently towards the ceiling. Smoothing out the inhale and the exhale. Letting both the quality and the quantity of every inhale and exhale match. Perhaps beginning to bring your attention to the space between each inhale and exhale. And then see if you can create some space within that space. So a slight pause between the inhale and the exhale. Bringing more and more awareness into that space. We'll take a few more rounds of breath. If it's appropriate for your practice, maybe taking a moment to set an intention today. Maybe inviting some self-compassion towards your body, towards your mind, being gentle with yourself today. Perhaps extending that compassion towards those around you. Family members, co-workers, etc., etc. And then wherever you are in your breath cycle, take a deep, awakening breath. Bring more attention back into the body, back into your space today. Blink the eyes open, and let's get started. So come onto your mats, grab your straps right away. We'll start laying on our backs. So you're going to extend the left leg long down the mat, draw the shoulder blades together, and make your spine tall like you're standing on the mat. Grab your strap, and then strap up the right heel, making sure that the strap is on the heel. And then we'll just begin to breathe some length into our hamstrings. So the left leg is nice and active like you're standing, and then the right foot reaching directly up towards the ceiling. If this is too much right away at the beginning of practice, bend the knee, lower the leg. Key is to be nice and gentle at the beginning of practice. And then bring your awareness back into the deep low belly and take some deep belly breaths, creating length and space. And then go ahead and grab the strap with your right hand and let the left arm come long like a capital letter T beside you. And then plug the left shoulder into your mat and begin to rotate at the hip, turning the right foot out towards the side of the room. As you come down, plug more into the left hip so that you don't come off the mat at all. And then press out through the heel of the right leg, creating more of an opening sensation through the back of the right leg. So we're nice and active here, but still allowing still being gentle with our bodies right at the beginning of practice. And then on an inhale, pull your right leg back up towards center. Grab the strap with your left hand and reach the right arm out to the side like a capital letter T. And then we'll begin to cross the right leg over the left side of the body, being really, really gentle with this one. Keeping the right shoulder plugged into the mat and then reaching out through both heels. Breathing space into the outer right hip. And then inhale, press so much through the right heel that your right leg returns to center. And then we'll bend at the knee, turn the knee out towards the right side of the room and the heel towards the left side of the room. And then we'll come into this pigeon pose on our backs. So you're gonna grab, flex through the right sole of the right foot and then begin to draw the heel in towards your body. Depending on how flexible you feel this morning already, you might be able to bring the sole of the foot towards the elbow, the crook of the elbow, and then begin to draw yourself back, letting the weight of your body take your foot and your knee with you. Coming back to the breath, letting the breath be soft and gentle. And then inhaling, we'll return the right foot back through center. One more good, expansive, pushing out through the right heel, and then slowly lower the right leg down towards the mat, and we'll come into the second side. So switch left leg into the strap, making sure that the heel is in contact with the strap, so you're really pressing out through the heel of the left leg into the strap. And then make the right leg on the mat nice and active as if you're standing. So you're pressing the heel of the left leg into the strap. Breathing into the space of the hamstrings. And even here, evening out the quality of your inhale and the quality of your exhale. And now take the strap with your left hand, open up the right arm like a capital letter T. Push out through the left heel and then get active through the right leg as you draw the left leg out to the side. Plugging the right shoulder and the right hip into the mat. Breathe into the opening through your leg. And then inhale, return through center. Switch the grasp of the strap. Left arm out and then begin to pull the right leg across the body. Not going too far on this one. You'll probably start to feel it in the outer hip pretty soon. And then just breathe into that space that you're creating. Inhaling, return to center, and then bend at the knee. Turn the knee towards the left and the heel towards the right. Flex into the right, or flex into through the sole of the foot, and then you can begin to bring the sole of the foot towards opposite elbow if you have that flexibility through your hamstrings and glutes right away. And then begin to lean your shoulders back, take your foot with you for this pigeon on our backs. And then inhale, straighten the left leg, come back through center. Take one round of breath here, and then slowly lower down, returning the left foot to meet right. And then just take a moment to kind of breathe, feeling the sensations in both of your legs. And then roll on to one side and come up to hands and knees. So come to tabletop, wrists underneath shoulders, knees under hips, and we'll take a few rounds of cat-cow. So moving your breath with your movement. On an inhale, drop the belly, pull the heart through the arm bones and lift the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Exhale to curl and round, push the floor away from you, press the back of your t-shirt towards the ceiling. Inhale, melt the heart forward, cow pose, exhaling through cat. We'll take this 3 more times, linking your breath to your movement, maybe going slower than me, maybe going a little bit faster depending on your breath cycle. But creating length through the spine, articulating through each vertebrae, bringing some movement. And then inhaling, come back through center, find a neutral spine. Reach the crown of your head towards the front of the mat and your tailbone towards the back of the mat. And then on an inhale, reach the left leg long behind you. Activate through the heel like you're pressing into the wall behind you, and then pull the navel to spine and sweep the right arm alongside your ears. Breathing, create length from fingertip to heel. Exhale to maintain that length. Even out the quality of your breath here. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Come back through neutral. Inhale to sweep the right leg up behind you, pressing through the heel like you're pressing into the wall. And then on an inhale, sweep the left arm. Bicep frames the ear. Belly button to spine. Try to level out your hips. Draw the shoulder blades down onto the back of your ribs. And breathe more length from your fingertips all the way to your toes. Evening out the quality of your breath here. And then exhaling, slowly lower down, return through tabletop. Let's take 2 more rounds of cat-cow. Inhale to drop the belly, pull the heart through the arm bones, and exhale, curl and round. Letting this feel really good as we're awakening the spine. And then come back through neutral, walk the hands 1 handprint forward, tuck the toes under, and then lift the hips up and back, come into downward facing dog. In your down dog, press evenly through all 4 corners of your palms, and then press the floor away from you as you hollow out your armpits. Draw your shoulder blades onto your back, and then try to create more length from the crown of your head all the way to your sitting bones. Reaching your sitting bones towards where the ceiling meets the wall behind you. And then pull your toes up towards your shins and see if you can drop your heels another millimeter towards the mat. Evening out the breath here.
And then on an inhale, sweep the right leg up and back. Exhale, curl and round, pull forward, bringing knee towards elbow. Exhale to shift back, lift the leg behind you long. Exhale, curl and round, and then sweep the leg behind you. We'll do this one more time. Pull forward, knee towards elbow, and then sweep the leg long behind you. Right leg meets left. Find your center again in down dog. And then inhale, sweep the left leg long behind you. On an exhale, curl and round, pull your knee towards elbow, and then inhale to sweep the leg up and back, lift the hips. Exhale to curl and round, knee towards elbow, up and back one more time. Exhaling, curl and round, knee towards elbow, and then sweep the leg long behind you. And then left leg meets right. And then begin to slowly walk your hands to the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Maybe stepping the feet out a little bit wider to take a wide-legged forward fold. Soft bend in the knees. Shake the head yes a few times. Shake the head no. And then walk the feet back in so they're directly under your hips. And then on an inhale, half lift, pull the heart forward, straight spine, exhale to fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Palms meet together at the center, coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. Stacking knees over ankles, hips over knees, shoulders over hips. Inhaling, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, pull your heart forward, hinge at the hips. Inhale, half lift, present your heart, and then exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank pose. Pausing in plank for a moment, knowing that you can always come down to knees if needed at any point in time. And then we'll slowly, with control, lower down, heart, chest, hips arriving at the same time. And then flip the feet, plug the tops of the feet into the mat, squeeze your elbows together, and then pull your hands back as you pull your heart forward and up, coming into a low cobra pose. And then exhaling, come back the way you came, lower down. Tuck the toes behind you, press the hips up and back, coming into a brief child's pose. Knowing that child's pose is here for you whenever you need it throughout class. If you need to take a break, come back to your breath. This pose is always here for you. And then press into the palms, lift the hips up and back, come into downward facing dog. From here, we'll walk the feet forward. Inhale, present your heart, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Palms meet together at the top, and then drawing thumb knuckles to sternum, Tadasana. From here, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to half lift, present your heart, plant the palms, step back to your plank pose. One round of breath here, and then on the exhale, shift slightly forward, draw your elbows back and slowly lower down to the floor. Flip the feet as you arrive, plug your hip points into the ground, squeeze the elbows together, and pull your heart forward, maybe coming up a little bit more, making sure that the back bend stays out of the low back. So drawing navel to spine here, draw the shoulder blades down the back, ears back. And then as you exhale, pull forward and down to come back the way you came. Tuck the toes and either press back through child's pose or get steady, squeeze the inner thighs together, and then lift up one straight line through plank, and then lift the hips up and back to downward facing dog. One round of breath here. Begin to walk the feet forward, coming into a forward fold. Half lift, present your heart. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Palms meet above the head, and then bringing thumb knuckles to sternum. Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward. Half lift as you arrive, and then plant the hands and step the left foot back, coming into a low lunge. From here, you're gonna drop the left foot at a 45-degree angle, and then look down and make sure that the heels are either heel to heel alignment, where the back foot is slightly wider. And then begin to draw your right hip back, left hip forward, so that your hips are more towards the front of your mat. Squeeze your legs together as if there's a giant beach ball under your legs, and feel your pelvis get kind of buoyant. Hug the belly button to the spine, and from this place of buoyancy, then begin to rise on up, coming into your warrior one pose. Hit down through the front heel of your right foot, and then press through the pinky side edge of your back foot, and see if you can turn your hips even more towards the front of your mat. Inhale here, then on the exhale, begin to open up your hips even more, maybe walking your stance a little bit wider, and then setting up back arch to heel alignment for your warrior two pose. Still pressing through the pinky side edge of the back foot, and then drawing the right knee towards the right upper corner of your mat. Look over your right hands, and then on an inhale, flip the right palm and reach back for reverse warrior. One round of breath, and then straighten through the front leg for a reverse triangle pose, creating length all the way from your right big toe to your right fingertips. Exhaling, come back through center, draw the left hip back, and begin to pull your right arm forward. Pull so far forward that you then begin to tip down, bringing your hand onto the shin of your right leg, or maybe to the ground or to a prop. Press through the right pinky toe as you press through the pinky side edge of the left foot. And then imagine that your deep low belly and your heart are tethered together, and begin to roll them open even more towards the right side of your room, towards the left side of your room. Breathe into the space, expanding through both sides of the body, the right and the left. And then pull so much from your left hand that you pull yourself back to standing, and then point both toes towards the long edge of your sticky mat, coming into a wide-legged stance. Bring the hands to hips, slightly pigeon toe your feet, so the toes are slightly in, heels slightly out. And then check in that ankles, knees, hips are all in line. Push through the pinky side edge of both feet. Draw up energy up the inseam of your pants, bringing hands to hips, and then begin to hinge at the hip and melt your heart forward, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. You can keep your upper body supported by placing your hands to thighs or to shins, or maybe to the ground. But still creating length through the spine. So reaching the crown of the head forward as you reach your tailbone towards the back. Come back to your breath. And then we'll begin to walk our hands over to the left side, setting up for the second side. So come into a low lunge with the left foot forward, right foot back, and then drop the right heel. So your right foot is at a 45-degree angle, and then check in that your heels are either in line with each other or the back foot slightly out to the side. Squeeze your legs together like there's a giant beach ball underneath. Start to draw your left hip back, right hip forward, so that your hips are more forward than sideways. Get buoyant through your pelvis and then rise, coming into warrior one. Pressing through the pinky side edge of your back foot and then hit down through the right heel. And then on an exhale, open up more towards the side of your sticky mat, maybe lengthening your stance and checking in with your heel to arch alignment. Draw the left knee towards the upper left corner of your mat as you hit down through the pinky side edge of your back foot. Look over the left fingertips. On an inhale, turn the left palms and then tip back. Lower body stays the same, creating length all the way from the left hip through the left armpit. And then inhale, straighten the leg for reverse triangle pose. Come back through center, draw the right hip back and lean the left arms forward so much that you come down either onto a block, a canned good, a chair, maybe bringing the left hand onto the left shin. Wherever you are, traction the left forearm against your left leg to start to roll your heart open even more. Trying to stay long through both side bodies, not just the right side body. And then pull yourself so much with the right hand that you come up to standing. Come back through toes pointed towards the long edge of your sticky mat. Setting up for wide-legged forward fold. Exhaling, draw the heart forward, hinge at the hips, and then come down. And then begin to crawl your hands towards the right, coming into low lunge with your hands framing the right foot forward, left foot back. And then begin to walk your right foot towards your left hand. And then lower the knee down so that it comes right behind the right hand. You may have to slide the heel in towards your groins, that's fine. Check in with your back leg, make sure that the ankle isn't sickling either direction, that it's nice and straight and in line with your knee. And then come up to your hands and squeeze your thighs together here. Just like in Warrior One, as we were pulling the forward hip back and the back hip forward to turn our hips more towards the front of the room. Draw your legs together. Get buoyant in the pelvis. Draw the shoulder blades onto the back ribs, ears in line with the shoulders. And then on an exhale, begin to hinge at the hips and then crawl yourself out of your pelvis. Maybe coming down to forearms. If you have more flexibility in your hips, maybe coming down all the way to the mat with the forehead on the mat. Just trying to create spinal elongation this entire pose. We aren't collapsing into it. We're still reaching the crown of our heads beyond the front of our mat. And come back to the breath. Watch your breath travel your spinal column, even here. Can you even out the quality of the inhale and the exhale? And then begin to walk your hands back under your shoulders. Tuck the back toes. Press so much through the back heel that you lift the knee up. And then from the deep low belly, place your right foot back between your hands into a lunge. And from here, we'll just crawl all the way around to the other side so that our hands frame the left foot. And then lower the back knee, untuck the toes, walk your left knee towards the right hand, and then karate chop your knee down. Keeping the left foot nice and active to protect the knee joint. And then check in with your back leg again. The ankle isn't sickled either direction, and that the ankle and the knee are in line with each other. And then squeeze your legs together to bring the hips more forward than sideways. You might find that you catch a little air here. That's great. And then bring the hands under the shoulders. Draw the shoulder blades onto the back ribs. Ears are soft. Allowing more opening through the hips. And then begin to walk yourself forward. Remember to create length through the spine, reaching the crown of the head long. Coming down only as far as you can maintain integrity in this pose. Come back to your breath. Have compassion for yourself, compassion for your hips in this pose. I know a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with this pose, myself included. So maybe find a way to enjoy. One of my teachers always says, find a way to have fun when you're not having any fun at all. And then begin to walk yourself back, walking the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the back toes under, press so much through the back heel that the back knee lifts off. And then pulling navel to spine from the deep low belly, pick your left foot up, place it back between your hands, coming into a lunge. And then from here we'll walk back over so that our hands frame the right foot again. Take a moment to lengthen the spine in low lunge, reaching the back heel towards the back of the room. And then drop the back heel, come into your heel to arch alignment. Press the right knee towards the right upper corner of your mat, and then cartwheel the hands open, coming through Warrior Two for just a moment. And then we'll inhale to reverse our warrior. Exhale to come forward, pull yourself over the right knee, and then come into your extended side angle pose. So the right forearm can come to right knee, or your hand can come to a block, or inside the foot, the right foot. And then spiral your hips and heart even more towards the side of your mat. And then from your deep low belly, from your hips, start to move your left hip back so much that the right leg straightens, coming back through triangle pose. And then with your left hand, pull yourself back up through standing, and then take one giant step forward to the top of your mat. From here, root down through the left big toe mound and the left heels. Draw muscular energy up the left leg and begin to shift your weight onto the left. Come onto your right toes and turn your knee out towards the right side of the room. And then begin to draw the right leg up the leg, either coming to the shin or maybe coming further up, coming into your tree pose. So check in with your hips, make sure your hips are square, and then draw the right knee back behind you. Imagine it's coming so far to the side that it's actually moving back. Come back to your breath here. And then inhale to release the leg, but keep that knee lifted to a 90-degree angle. Plug into the big toe mound of the left foot. And then kick through the heel of your lifted leg, and then move the inner knee even further up to lift your leg another millimeter. And then exhale, slowly lower down. From here, let's inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, pull yourself forward, forward fold. Inhale to half lift, present your heart, and then exhale, plant your hands, step back through plank pose. Draw your heart forward, come to the back bend of your choice, and then pike from the deep low belly, lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. And then we'll come into the other side. So set up for your low lunge on the left side, left foot forward, right foot back. Press through the right heel so much that your right leg gets really, really active, feeling a nice stretch through the front of the right leg. So then from here, drop the right heel down at a 45-degree angle, and then check in with your right arch should be in line with your left heel. Reach the left knee more towards the upper left-hand corner of the mat, and then cartwheel the hands up and around, come into your warrior two pose. Pressing through the pinky side edge of the back foot as you bend more into the front foot. Flip the left palms and then reach back, reverse your warrior. And then exhaling, come back through center and then reach forward so much that you start to drop down into your extended side angle. So either bringing left forearm to the left knee, or maybe onto a block or inside of your left foot. And then reach your right arm towards the ceiling as you spiral your heart and hips towards the side of the mat. Pressing through to the pinky side edge of the back foot, and then glide your hips up and back to straighten the front leg, coming into your triangle pose. Finding steadiness and ease, coming back to the breath, and then pulling through the right arm so much that you come back to standing, and then take a big step the feet together. And then bring your weight into the right foot. Shift the weight, come on to a kickstand with your left foot, and then begin to draw the left foot up either onto shin or up further on your thigh. Check in with your hips, make sure that they're level, and then press through the big toe mound of the standing foot and draw your knee towards the left side of the room and back. Like imagine that you're wrapping your butt like down and back to pull your knee towards the side of the room. Find your breath. Maybe bringing hands to heart center. Maybe grow your branches overhead. Whatever's most appropriate for you. And then inhaling to slowly release the foot from the thigh, the shin, and then keep the knee lifted so your knee is at a 90-degree angle. Draw your heart up, root down through the standing foot, and then press out through the left heel to extend your leg. And then reach the inner knee higher and see if your leg will lift another millimeter. And then exhale, slowly lower down with control. Awesome. So come back to the top of your mat. Inhale to sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, pull your heart forward, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, present your heart. And then exhale, just squat back or step your feet out wide and then drop your hips. Come into Malasana. So the toes point out a little bit, knees tracking over the big toe and the second toe, and then your elbows can come inside your knees, and then knees press into elbows and elbows press into knees, and then drop the sacrum further towards the mat. Create more length from the crown of your head all the way to your sacrum. And then exhaling, slowly lower down, come to seated. In seated, draw your feet in, and then grab onto the backs of your thighs. Reach your heart forward, draw the shoulder blades down and back onto the back ribs, and then begin to lean back until you find this place where you can hover. And then squeeze the legs together like you have one leg, and begin to lift the heels so the shins come parallel to the mat. Pull the heart forward, and then maybe release the arms forward. Squeeze the legs together. Maybe squeeze them together so much that they begin to straighten. Shaking is okay. Heart up. Squeeze the legs. And then exhaling, slowly lower down. Pull the heart forward. And then exhaling, release. Awesome. And then we'll just come rolling back into our Malasana pose, our yogi squat. And then drop the hands, lift the hips to a little bit of a wide-legged forward fold. And then walk the feet in so that the feet are directly under the hips. Inhale, half lift, present your heart. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. And then on the exhale, sit your hips back, coming into a chair pose. So dropping the tailbone down towards the mat. Knit the low ribs in, belly button to spine. And then squeeze your inner thighs together as if you have a block between your thighs. And then on an exhale, bring the right arm behind you, left arm forward, and begin to twist. Rolling your collarbones towards the right side of the room. Expanding from left fingertips to right fingertips. And then check in with your knees, make sure they're in line with each other. And then inhale, come back through center. Inhale up to stand, Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, sit the hips back, come back through chair pose for about one round of breath. And then inhale, sweep the left arm back behind you. Broadening through the collarbones, check in with your knees, make sure that they're in line. Expanding from fingertip to fingertip. Inhaling, come back through center. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, present your heart. Exhale, fold forward, planting the hands, and then step back to a plank pose. Take one round of breath, get really stable through your plank, squeeze the inner thighs together, reach the crown of the head forward, tailbone down, and then exhaling, slowly lower down with control, arriving on your belly. Once you're here, flip the feet, root the hip points into your mat and root the tops of your feet into the mat, and then bring the hands alongside your hips, palms down. We're going to take a few rounds of Shalabhasana locust pose, but we're going to break it down. So we're going to do legs first, and then upper body, and then we're going to put it all together. So let the forehead either rest on the mat or your chin on the mat, whatever is most comfortable for you. On an inhale, you're going to bring your legs together, squeeze your legs together as if you have one leg, toes are softly pointed, and then squeeze your butt. Inhale, lift the legs up off the floor. Feeling a lengthening through the front of your hips. Squeeze the legs together. Make sure you aren't crunching through the low back. And then exhaling slowly, lower down. Awesome. And then you can let go of the effort. And then bring the legs back together. We're going to do the upper body next. So reach the fingertips towards your feet. Bring your shoulder blades onto your back. Let the neck just be a nice extension of your spine so we aren't curling the neck up or down too much. It's just a nice extension of your spine. So on an inhale, roll the shoulders down and back, broaden through the collarbones, and then peel the heart forward and up and let the arms lift towards your toes. So think heart up and forward. And then exhale, slowly release. So we'll put it all together. Begin to bring the heels together. Squeeze your leg like you have one leg, and then on an inhale, squeeze your butt to lift your legs, and then pull your heart forward and up. Keeping the neck soft, nice natural extension of your spine. Allowing this back bend to feel like a front body opening. And then let your breath rock your body back and forth. And then exhale, release. You can turn your head to one side, come onto the cheek, and just let go of that effort. And then bring the hands underneath the shoulders and push the hips back, come into a child's pose. Big toes together, knees can either be together or wide, whatever feels best for you right now. It might even feel better to just come to seated on your heels. And then as you're ready, come back through seated. And we'll just shift on over to one side and then sweep the legs long in front of you. We'll come into our Dandasana staff pose. So move the flesh out from under your sit bones. Make a solid connection with the ground. And then activate your heels into the mat. Pull your toes towards your shins and then let your quads engage just like 10%. Bring the palms of the hands to the earth outside of your hips and then broaden through the collarbones. And notice how much effort it takes to just sit. Come back to the breath. And then from here, draw the right knee in towards the chest and then cross the right foot over the left. And then begin to hug the right leg in with your left hand and then begin turning from the deep low belly and then through the ribs and then through the collarbones as you rotate over towards the right side of the room. The right hand can come behind your sacrum like a kickstand. And then breathe into all of the new spaces that you've created with this twist. Watch the breath rise up the spinal column here, just like we did at the beginning of class. Keep the left leg active, toes pulling towards the shin. Exhaling, come back the way you came, like you're descending a spiral staircase. And then let the right leg extend long behind you and then draw the left knee in towards the chest. Crossing the left leg over the right, hugging the left knee in with the right arm. And then from the deep low belly, begin to twist towards the left, like you're walking up a spiral staircase. Finding all of these little crevices to breathe into. Twists can sometimes feel confining. See if you can find ways to make it feel expansive. Finding this new little corner of your lung to breathe into. Finding ways to breathe around your organs. And then exhaling slowly. So slowly, with control, as carefully as you came into the twist, come out of the twist. And then stretch the left leg long to meet right. Pausing in Dandasana for just another moment. Activating slightly through the heels of both legs and squeezing the legs together like you have one leg. And then begin to hinge forward at the hips. And then start to walk yourself even more forward out of your hips. Bringing your heart towards your knees. And once you come to that end range motion, then begin to curl and round through the upper back, coming into a forward fold. Enjoying the comfort of your own company right here. And then begin to slowly walk yourself back up towards seated. We'll bring the soles of the feet together and come into Baddha Konasana, or bound ankle pose. So you can grab either onto ankles or grabbing toes, and then activate through your glutes to draw the knees more towards the ground. And then pull your heart through your biceps, broaden through the collarbones. And then from here, begin to hinge forward. Reaching the crown of the head long as you root your sit bones back. And then if you like, you can begin to fold forward even more. Going to whatever is appropriate for you today. Trusting your inner wisdom, trusting your body. And then inhaling, come back to neutral. And then we'll roll onto our backs. Bring the knees to the chest, and then give yourself a nice, big, well-deserved hug, keeping the sacrum on the ground. Neck is long, and then maybe taking the knees in circles if that feels good, or rocking from side to side, maybe rolling forward and back. And then we'll bring the knees towards our armpits and then reach the soles of the feet towards the sky. Grab onto either the outer edges of your feet or take the first two peace fingers to your big toes and draw your knees more towards your armpits. Sacrum to the mat, coming into a happy baby. And here you can also listen to your body's intuition, rocking from side to side if that feels good. Maybe taking a moment to straighten through one leg and then straighten through the other leg, and noticing the asymmetries and taking a moment to laugh at yourself if appropriate. And then from here, take any other movements that might feel good, that your body might be calling out for. And then we'll set up for our Shavasana, our final resting pose. So stretching the legs long on the mat, let the feet turn out, let the legs get really, really heavy. And then let the arms turn out at the sides, palms face up, arms far enough away from the body, finding that perfect point of comfort. Maybe taking a moment to place your shoulder blades right under the back of your heart. I imagine your shoulder blades becoming a little pillow for your heart. And then just let your body sink into the ground and get really heavy. And let go of everything, your to-do list, the effort that you've put forth so far today. Just let it all go.
Softly and sweetly begin to bring your awareness back into your body, back into this present moment, back into this room. Maybe beginning with some slow movements, rolling out fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Taking a big inhale and taking the arms overhead for a full body stretch. And as you're ready, roll onto one side, come into the fetal position. Come back to this first position. Check in with your breath. And then as you're ready, using your arms, push yourself up to a comfortable seat. Coming back the way that we started class. From seated, roll the biceps out, palms up. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Palms meet together overhead. And then on an exhale, draw the thumb knuckles to the sternum. Palms meet together in Anjali Mudra at the heart center. Take a moment to thank yourselves at least as much as I thank each and every one of you for carving out this time today to practice for the benefit of your bodies, your minds, your souls, for everyone and everything around you. To each of you I bow. Om. Thank you guys so much for joining. Questions, comments, please comment below, and we will see you soon.